Good evening. We're at the City Hall. We have the Marketing and Communications Committee meeting. Chairman Fairmanick is not here. I am replacing her for tonight. I call the meeting to order. The first item on the agenda is the minutes for November 14th, 2023. We did not meet in December, I believe.
No, we did not.
So this goes back a couple months, back to November.
I will make a motion to place the minutes of the November meeting on file.
I'll second it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and that passes. General agenda item for consideration, food truck palooza, update, discussion, overall plan, budget, funding, summary. We had in our packet information about this, and it sounds like it's picking up speed here. You want to talk more on that, or
yeah,
discuss
just a little bit. You see everything that I have in my packet. I did put funding sources in the price sheet in there. When you're looking at the cornhole payback, when you have tournaments like this, it's really beneficial to add money into the kitty to gain more traction, get more people to show up. Ideally, we have 40 teams, so a 200% payback would be $1,600. When I was talking to the gentleman who will be running it, Jordan Stelton Pool from Stevens Point, he said even $500 would bring in a lot of people, so I feel like we can cut that from $1,600 down to $500. I'm hoping to get enough sponsorships to be able to cover that funding. So that's my biggest thing.
And how do people sign up for this?
They will sign up through Golden Sands Cornhole at gmail.com.
Okay.
So I have that on Facebook. We did start a Facebook page for the Food Truckapalooza, and that right now has 172 followers and 100 likes. It's got a lot of traction for the last couple weeks, and a lot of people are signing up for the vendor show as well with that. I have one food truck that is sent in money and paid, so we have one truck.
Okay.
I have verbals on quite a few others, probably 5 or 6.
Chick-fil-A?
As much as I would love to do the Chick-fil-A,
It's not on a Sunday.
it's not on a Sunday, but I feel like it would take away from the hometown
I know.
food trucks, because it was definitely something we thought about.
Sure. Oh, you did think about it?
Yes, we did. We also have thought about, I think Rob brought up the Wiener Mobile. I'm bringing that into town.
I was the Chick-fil-A guy.
You were the Chick-fil-A guy. Somebody else brought up bringing the Wiener Mobile to town. So we're just kind of looking at things, yes.
So where is the funding coming from for this?
Sponsorships.
And they're going to cover all of this?
That is the goal here.
Okay. If they don't?
That's a really good question. I'm hoping between here and the Festival Grounds Committee, we can work out some sort of plan.
Okay. And then where does the revenue go?
The revenue will go back into a non-lapsing account that we have started for the Food Truckapalooza for future events.
Okay. Thank you.
For the sponsorships right now, I have a few verbal ones that'll equal up to quite a bit to at least cover the tents. The tents are the biggest part, which would be $4,000. I did talk with Everest Party Rentals, and they came down to meet that budget. Otherwise, they were at like $4,600. So I thought that was a really good deal for us, and they'll do all the setup and the takedown for us. Any other questions?
Tables, chairs, anything like that?
Picnic tables we're going to use from the fairgrounds. Hopefully Park and Rec will help us with that if we need more to go underneath the tents.
We'll get some picnic tables.
I know some guys.
Yeah. We do picnic tables. We wouldn't do the fold-out ones, though.
You know,
Right.
And I noticed too, garbage, you are hoping maybe the city might help us. with
The
that.
mayor was going to talk to Dustin about that as well.
Okay, so there's some contingent things.
Yes, I know the fairgrounds has the barrels that we could use. If we want to talk about that, we can.
You'd have to talk to Brad. Brad Becker
Yep.
would know. He has a little more work with the actual grounds portion for
Right.
the fair side of it at least, and could definitely help with making sure that picnic tables and all those things are
Yep.
available by that time. Hopefully enough snow is gone too that it'll be easy to access the
Right.
barns and stuff like that. That's kind of our big.
Yeah.
So where would these grounds actually be? Right within the oval of the original track? or-
So the layout is going to be behind the grandstand is where the trucks are going to be.
Okay.
The cornhole is going to be closer to Memorial Drive.
Okay.
The entertainment center is going to be close to the bathrooms, and then the vendor show is going to be around the fairway.
Okay,
So,
okay.
and I have, I think, eight or nine vendors right now for the craft show, so it's a start. But all that money from the food trucks and the vendors will go into that non-lapsing account to go towards anything that we need to spend money on as well.
Be interesting how it turns out.
Hopefully it'll be good.
Weather's nice, too.
So right now, we're looking at about
$6,900.
$6,900, about 15 trucks, you said, is the hope in your report, or in your
Right.
update here. Right now, we're looking at what, about 7 trucks have given you
Verbals.
verbals and, okay.
So, and I reached out to trucks from Hayward all the way down to Toma. The first truck that we have that paid is from Tigerton. So they are excited to be part of this.
Okay.
So 2 things, the cornhole event and then the craft. Those are the 2
Craft and
biggest-
food.
Those are the 2
There's also
biggest-
music,
Yep.
too.
And drink, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll have the drinks, Zach Kubicek from
Yeah.
Sawmill will be running that. So that's very, very helpful.
How are you promoting the craft portion of it?
The craft portion, I have a flyer that I put out on the Food Truckapalooza page, and I will also be advertising on the City of Merrill page that vendors are needed.
Okay, because I know that it is something that the chamber does get a lot of calls about for people wanting to be in craft shows. So you might even consider having a separate like Facebook event that's
Okay.
maybe just craft and vendor or something like that, because then that might catch people's eyes. Instead of just Food Truckapalooza, they don't know that there's the craft portion to it.
Yes.
It's the same technically event, but they don't necessarily know that, so that might be an idea.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea.
I know it was also discussed today at the Enrichment Center about the Food Truckapalooza. The Enrichment Center thought of trying to find a way to get the building opened up, so we might want to talk with Tammy about something that could potentially also happen there to help. Like they would set it all up, do their own thing, but kind of coincide with Food Truckapalooza, so.
I would love to say that's a great idea. However, it's on different ends of the thing, so I don't know how that would
I get
actually
that, but it
pan
was
out.
something that I know, it was
Layout-wise.
brought up there, so it's
But
something
yeah,
to.
I definitely will talk to her.
It's something, since it looks like we've got enough traction going, then this will happen, that maybe that's something to look and see, is that something that we can do to help also promote them,
Yeah,
so.
Good job.
thanks.
A lot of work.
I just
have-
want to share that Haley's done a really good job on this. She's never done something like this before, and she's really taken the reins. So any help, and I know that a lot of people have already helped her out, but anything anybody can do to help her on the logistics part would be really helpful, her making sure this gets done. And I know the city's stepped up. I know you've stepped up. But it's just going to take everybody coming together to make this a success.
Thank
And I'm
you.
kind of sad about Chick-fil-A, but that's okay.
I know. Did you go to Wausau yesterday? They were in Wausau.
No, I didn't want to say yesterday. Dealing with other stuff.
The other thing, I did send out sponsorship letters in December. I am going to be following up with them in the next week or two. I'm working on coming up with a sponsorship letter, just to follow up, just to see where everybody's at, because I haven't gotten a lot of responses. So I'm hoping that that kind of pans out. I know I sent it out right at the end of the year with inventory and vacations and everything, so it was kind of a rough time.
And if you do a follow-up letter, I suggest you list some of who you've already got.
Okay.
Because sometimes they see, oh, so-and-so's doing it, so maybe we should do it.
Okay.
And for the public's notice, what's the date again?
May 18th, 2024 at the festival grounds.
Okay, thank you. And that starts at what time?
11 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Okay, and Brad Eman will be there too.
Brad Emanuel will be there from 3:30 to 7.
Another former student.
And then the discuss and consider live on-site radio broadcasting options.
Yeah.
I talked to Cameo, and since we are doing a lot of work with Midwest Communications, we can get WDEZ for 2 hours and WIFC for 2 hours. So that would cover from 11 to 3. Normally, for anybody else, it would be $3,000 for the two of them, but since we're doing a lot of work, we can get them for $1,000 total. So I think that's a really good option. If you see in the packet, she sent an email about everything that you get with that $1,000 between promotional ads, in-call or live call-in interviews during the event, listing on the events and everything, and that's for both radio stations. Mayor had talked to WJMT, and they were interested in sponsoring as well or doing somewhat of the same thing. I haven't heard back, so I don't know what they charge. I don't know what they offer, if they do anything of that sort of nature.
They do.
I just don't know what the reach is compared to WDEZ and WIFC, and if the pricing is considerate.
I think their reach isn't quite as far, but their reach is a different audience.
Right. and-
So I don't think it would hurt for us
Their
to.
local following,
Yeah.
their local following is worth it, though, because there's
Yeah.
a lot of people that listen to JMT, especially the morning shows and things like that, so.
Yeah. That's what I mean by it's definitely a different audience than the ones that listen to WDEC or WIFC. So that's where I think, in order to just keep spreading the word,
Right.
if they can get on board with it, I think that's a huge value to us.
I can talk to, I know Steve very well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will talk to him.
And just see what his price point would be and what he would include in that.
Yep.
Just because I want to reserve WDEZ and WIFC if we end up going with them, and make sure that we have this covered from 11 to 3.
Mark, I don't know about you, but I think this is a good route. I mean, if they're giving us a $2,000 discount, I think that's something that
Yeah, I mean-
this committee could
Yeah.
approve, and just we can move forward with
Yeah.
this.
Yep.
Lori, real quickly, is that something that we can make motion to do right away right now, or is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Mark, I will make a motion to approve this $1,000 radio broadcast for the Food Truckapalooza.
I'll second it.
Thank you. I think that it's a really good option.
All in favor, say aye.
Hang on,
Hold on.
can I
You
just
gotta do discussion.
Yeah, I do have a question. It says 2 hour for IFC and DEZ, 2 hour live broadcast for each. Are they going to, I would maybe ask, do they do that at the same time?
No,
Intent?
one would be
Okay.
11 to 1 and the other one would be 1 to 3.
Oh, I was gonna make sure
I
that would
had
happen.
kind of figured because they'll use the same equipment and just one
Switch
radio.
out
Yeah,
vehicles.
switch the.
Yep,
Well,
I just
I don't know
wanted
if they
to make
switched-
sure that was the case,
yeah,
because then it gives,
they
you get
just switched
4
the
hours
feed,
of,
so.
you get 4 hours of continuous
Yes.
live.
Mhm. So.
No, I was just going to say, we also are going to want to get some of this out to the local TV stations. You know,
Mhm.
Food Truckapalooza coming to the Northwoods. Try to get some coverage on that. So I think we need to get a little bit further along, but probably in February is when we're going to want to hit that, and then have somebody ready to do a TV interview or something like that. So
Yeah.
The big one I would say is Channel 12 because they do really well with Merrill.
yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, so that's definitely on my radar.
Mhm.
And we want to do some videos, or like the TV ads that we're doing right now. We want to bring in the Food Truckapalooza to do that. Mayor does, we're going to have him talk on the WJMT each month, and he'll bring that up. And also, he will, not him, but the radio ads that we're doing on WDEZ and WIFC right now that we're with Marketing Communications, they will be talking about the Food Truckapalooza as well. So that's extra that we don't have to pay for.
Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
All right.
Aye. That passes. Item number 2, general marketing focus, winter sports, spring housing relocation focus. I'm not sure what,
I think that was more LaDonna.
Okay.
We were going to
Yeah.
talk about promoting the winter sports on ads and
Okay.
getting the spring and focusing in the spring on the housing and relocations.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we had kind of talked, was that yesterday or the day before? I can't remember. Hallie and I had talked about doing some of the YouTube video ads along those lines. I know we talked, Mr. Fink and I, at the Merrill Productions had talked about a few different video ideas that we were going to move forward and work with Hallie, Mayor Haas, and Rod Akey on to try to come up with some ideas and get some videos going out there. So,
I'll ask LaDonna if she just wants to move this to the February
Yeah.
meeting.
yeah.
Okay.
So-
Ellie, do you know what she meant by relocation?
Bringing people into the city, I believe.
Yeah, I that's what I would have think, because that was part of our mission, was to bring people here and, you know, get them to move here. So,
Just looking for clarifications.
yep,
Something else was intended.
yep.
Any further comments or discussion on general marketing about winter sports and housing? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to the street banners. Oh,
You want to share what the chamber's doing with the sports and the outdoor recreation, all the banners you've been working on and all
I
that?
can talk about that at the visitor guides and trade show.
Got it. Okay.
Street banners, they're going up in April, March?
The information has been sent out to businesses, and they are responding to the company in charge of that. And I would anticipate a rollout probably late April, early May.
Okay.
We have had calls as far as, is this legitimate? How many more years are you doing this? Has it lost its effect? Can we do something different? And I think that's kind of conversation that we had as far as in the different cities, they do seniors or
Veterans.
veterans and other things. So after this go around, it may run its course, and we have to find a different way of sponsorship.
Okay.
Provide some clarification on that?
So you're struggling to find sponsors, or is that what you're saying? Or?
No, but I guess how much are you getting for $1,400 on the backside of a pole?
Yeah.
Not trying to discourage anybody, but
Yeah.
in times like this, they kind of pinch their pennies as far as what they do
Mhm.
with their advertising money.
Mhm. Okay. Any further discussion on that? Okay, so banners. Number 4, Broadband Act of 2023. This is information only. As a council, we voted.
We voted to tell our federal, to tell the federal government to keep the power with us. Hallie, Rod, would you like to discuss this, or should I kind of?
LaDonna just wanted it as information only.
Okay. Yeah. So,
But it took away a lot of local power, and I guess that's why we,
yeah.
Well,
it would. It could.
It would
It
take
would.
away the funding
Yeah,
mechanism that is driving our marketing too, so
Yeah.
it would be a revenue loss.
Yeah. It's not officially yet. They haven't passed it at. I think they passed it at the House, but not the Senate, if I'm remembering correctly yet. So it's in that whole mess right there. So.
okay. Any further discussion on Broadband Act? Hearing none, moving on to Visitor's Guide, Chamber Trade Shows. Sarah, you have all that information.
I do.
Going to all these trade places here.
Yeah, so Visitor's Guide, thankfully Hallie was on top of it, and you should hopefully all have a copy. If not, we have thousands. So we did order 13,000 copies this year, and we did, we continued with the bigger book and tried to make it a little bit more focused on the silent sports and really highlighting the different activities that we offer recreation-wise, indoor, outdoor, all of that. trying to get as many of the events again as we could, and then highlighting some of the shops and food outlets. And then, yeah. So if you have any questions on the visitor guide, let me know.
Sarah, Sarah, this is Clyde.
Yep.
I can talk a little bit about the distribution too. That's one of the things that we talked about before. We're going to be working with 5-Star Marketing to go in various visitor centers and kiosks and convenience stores like Gary Schwartz's place up there along the I-51 corridor or I-39 corridor, and also with MMC to distribute some of those in northeast Wisconsin and the Valley area. So we get more of those out into the public's hands.
Yeah, and then obviously working with the other chambers in the area as well to get them out. So Teresa Grund, our new marketing, I don't know if we even have a title for her yet, but she is working on that right now to get these out to the other chambers. But again, we ordered 13,000 and we should be able to go through them. Last year we ordered 10,000 and we were down to maybe 5 copies at our office. So we're doing a good job getting these out to the state and surrounding states even. So, and obviously that brings us to the trade show. We will be bringing these 2 trade shows this year. We are planned to go to Iowa at the end of this month. Cheryl and Clyde will be going there, Cedar Falls, at the end of this month. We will have some at the Green Bay Sports Show. Myself and Teresa will be going for a day, but IPBEC will have a booth there, so we'll be able to have our visitor guides there the whole time. And then in early February, we're going to La Crosse Sports Show. And then in late February, the Madison Sports Show. And then obviously later this year, we'll be going to the State Fair hopefully again. But we have other Tomahawk Sports Show or Home Show, maybe the Rhinelander one as well. But yeah, we're getting these out. I did make some banners, and Scott was my, nice marketing eye for me and giving me good feedback. But I did make 3 different banners focusing on silent sports and, a reason for every season. So, they've got the hiking and biking and camping and fishing and those types of pictures on it. So we'll have those at each of the trade shows as well to just really, they stand out. They have the Merrill logo on them and then the chamber logo at the bottom to go and get more information when you visit. So good partnership there.
So this is the first year you went to Iowa?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And La Crosse. So, and Madison, I think. Last year we just went to Green Bay and then the State Fair. So.
Good.
Yep.
Yeah,
And so when we go to these, when we're going to the show in La Crosse and in Cedar Falls, Iowa, and in Madison, we were able to partner with a number of businesses in the community and offer a vacation getaway package for Merrill. We're working with American and also Cobblestone for hotel rooms, Left and Jim's bowling, and
Parking
passes out there at the Mark, and a number of other things. So we're hoping that we get a lot of people register, and we'll have a database started so we can send them out more information as we get it.
Good idea. Any further questions or comments?
The books are very well done. Good job.
Yeah, they are.
They're eye-catching. I liked when they switched to them last year, and just by the amount that we go through out by us at the Smith Center, and I think last year twice we had to
At least, I'm sure, yeah.
re-up on our supplies. So I think we might have handed out 300, 400, 500 just on our own last year, which is great. So
Council grounds get any of these or no? Or can they do that or not?
I don't know. I don't know if they have, to be honest.
Do they have a rack or a stand?
Yeah, they might. But yeah, we'll definitely get some out there. Our ambassadors do a very good job of distributing these as well. A lot of the businesses, have the stack at their counters and stuff too. But yeah, I would imagine we get them to council grounds, but it's probably one of our ambassadors doing a good job of getting it out there. But definitely this year we'll make sure that they do get it. And I'm sure at one of the tourism meetings too, Sarah might have taken some out there. I don't know. But that's a good point.
Okay. Very good. Okay, moving on. Monthly reports and updates. Ms. Savell has her monthly reports. Any questions on her social media job or what she has been doing?
I have no questions at this time.
I don't either. She is very busy, though. Analytics, I see you have an analytics part of the report there in terms of people, Facebook. Any comments on that?
I have no comments at this time and no questions.
Okay, I don't either. Number 2, monthly reports, Midwest Communications Baseline Report, contracted advertising.
I'm going to follow up with them on some of this.
Go ahead.
Because there's some information in here I'm not seeing. Some of the, I want to know where some of these are, where they, if they're local or if we are getting, and we're getting people coming in from the Minnesota and the Chicago areas.
She did have that on there. We wanted to keep it simplified for these two because they're the two main pages.
Okay.
But we were getting a lot of people from Chicago and Minneapolis to see our ads.
Can you send me the full report?
Yes.
Okay, that'd be helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, to me this looked pretty self-explanatory, and it looked like we were doing really well. So I'm happy with our results so far.
Now, are we going to bring Cameo in some at point in time?
I would assume.
Yes, we can bring her in probably for the February meeting. I will reach out to her.
Yeah.
Just give us like a quarterly kind of report or.
I thought that's what we had kind of talked about
Yeah,
was a quarterly. She would come in. We would see these reports every month,
Yeah.
but we would talk to her quarterly about our progress and where she feels we're at.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Any further comment on communication or on analytics? Or
Nope.
Hearing none. Number 3, consider placing the monthly reports on file.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That passes. Okay. Roman numeral 5, public comment. Is there any public comment tonight? Going a second time. Any public comment on the phone or in presence of the chamber? Hearing none, we move on. Date and time for the next meeting is set for February 15th at 5:15 in the chamber.
Works for me.
It's a Thursday.
Works for me.
Okay. It looks like a go for that date. Any discussion on anything before we adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, I'll second it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The adjournment is in.